Welcome to the exciting and new mini podcast. I'm Jason.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Brian.
Let's do this mini podcast. What were you just talking about? Your Samuel Adams Porch Rocker Lemon Radler. That's the beer that Papa Bad Kitty's drinking.
That's
right
actually
now.
my son's beer. He brought it home yesterday, and
I stole it from him.
But you were describing the term Radler.
Yes, Radler. So that means that it's mixed with a fruit juice.
I've never heard that
Of
term
any
before.
kind. It's not a specific fruit juice. It could be any juice.
And
Exactly.
So
this one's lemon juice mixed with
It's a beer specifically, or
specifically a beer.
a beer mixed with any kind of fruit juice is a Radler.
Yeah.
That's probably why I don't know that, because I'm not a big fan of fruity beers.
And this isn't as fruity as like Leinenkugel's lemon shandy.
That thing is disgusting.
Tastes like
Too
Pledge.
sweet. Sweet.
Yeah,
Pledge.
So
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah, it has
I remember the
very
last time
strong
we were down at
lemon
Chris's
taste.
place, and he had that, and we went out drinking, and I got back to the house, and you always need that one more beer, and I was like, oh, I'll just have one of these things. I was like, I took one sip, I was like,
That's how you stop.
it ain't gonna be this beer.
This one is very.
I had one of those, so
Mellow,
yeah, it was
yeah.
muted lemon taste. It wasn't like overpowering, almost like the
So then
Corona
you like
with
the Radler?
I mean, I would drink that again.
Yeah.
I would drink that rockin'. What is it called? Porch Rocker.
Porch Rocker.
Porch Rocker.
I like the label. It's a different color. You don't see that color all the time. But if you want to sponsor us, Sam Adams.
Come on. My wife loves Sam Adams. That's like her favorite thing. Oktoberfest and their summer beer. I don't think it's summer shanty. I think it's something else, but she likes Sam Adams. It's a weird weekend. I went away this weekend, so I didn't watch anything new. I watched a lot of old stuff. I watched the Ed Helms, Christina Applegate vacation movie.
Good movie. I like that movie.
It's so good. It's so funny.
You
I
would
know
think it would be bad.
that
You know
movie
what I
gets a
mean?
lot of hate, but
Yeah.
it is
Definitely
so funny.
Did you
I
ever
like
see it?
all the vacation. I think
Yeah,
every
they're-
single vacation.
I know
is funny.
I get shit on a lot, but I think European Vacation is a good movie.
Yeah, I'm not a
That's
big.
a very
I
funny
get
one.
shit on a lot when I say
I think
that,
that's
though.
my least favorite of all the vacation movies, but it's still good. I wouldn't
Yeah.
turn it off if it was on. But man, the Ed Helms one I thought was very funny.
I think I
and
like
I'm kind of
yeah.
disappointed they didn't make more. I thought like
They had the right cast. They could have done it. Yeah.
I guess maybe because it didn't do well, they just decided to end it. But
Yeah,
and
that's
I guess they
yeah.
couldn't do it now. Christine Applegate's sick, but
They could have got somebody else.
they could have. They could have. And I watched Idiocracy, the Mike
Great
Judge movie.
Yeah. Good
Very
one. Another
funny.
good one. Yeah.
And I watched Bullet Train because
I
my
like that
nephew
movie.
wanted to watch
Did you ever
that.
see that?
I haven't seen Bullet Train.
That's
yet.
on
Great
Netflix,
movie.
if you
Yeah,
wanna see that,
Netflix.
yeah.
Watch
Everyone
it.
tells me it's
so
good, and it looks like a movie I would like.
Yeah,
so.
because it's nonsensical.
It's nonstop
None of it
it's like
matters.
in Asia too, right?
Yeah.
It's nonstop action, and it's just insane action too, like over the top, kind of like.
yeah. It's in
Like
it's
a
in
Fast and Furious.
It's in Japan.
I've
I've never seen a Fast
I
and
haven't
Furious
either,
movie,
but
so I
like
don't
a
know.
John Wick,
but it's
kinda
also
like-
got
Oh,
you know what?
okay.
It doesn't have that. It has Brad Pitt and not Vin Diesel. So right there, it's 10 times better than whatever.
and it has
Fast and
Brian
Furious is.
Tyree Henry.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's got a great cast. And then I forgot the one movie I was forgetting about. It was the only one that I have never seen before. Was Death on the Nile.
Is that
which
the
is
new
a-
one?
Yeah,
David
Kenneth
Niven?
Branagh.
Oh.
Agatha
Because
Christie.
didn't they make a Murder on the Orient Express first? I saw
this
that
is a
one.
sequel to that.
Okay, I
it's-
saw that remake.
It's the same. Well, he's the same character. Was it whatever Hercules or whatever his name is?
Poirot or whatever.
Yeah,
Is it
yeah,
Poirot?
something French.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't any good. It was like nothing. You know who's in it? Gail Gadot's in it.
Did you sing Imagine?
She did not. And what's that cannibal guy's name?
Oh, Army Hammer.
Army Hammer. He's in
Hannibal.
it. He didn't eat anybody. Hannibal the cannibal. Army Hammer the cannibal. He's
He's
in
got a
it.
good name to be a cannibal, doesn't he? Army Hammer. Like he's going to eat an arm. He's
I don't
cannibal.
think he should be criticized for
It's just a
Eating
fantasy.
people?
wanting to be.
It's a
eat people.
fantasy of his.
Yeah. Like he never did it.
Oh no! I
Just
thought
wants
he,
to
I
do
thought he
it.
did do it. I thought
No,
that was a
no.
problem. I thought girls complained that he was like a biter.
Oh,
He might have been a
serious
biter, but I don't know how.
Like
I don't know if he
taking
was like
chunks
vicious.
off
Like,
biter.
I don't know if he was like
but I
taking
don't know.
chunks out of people.
I hate him. I just hate him based on his name.
I hate him because he made that Lone Ranger movie.
Oh yeah. No, ever since he was in Social Network, and
Oh, he was the twins,
he was
right?
the twins,
Yeah.
and I didn't know who he was at the time. I didn't know who anybody in that movie was at the time because.
Winklevoss.
But yeah, but like that's
I
like
haven't seen that.
Andrew
movie.
Garfield
Social
and
Network?
Jesse Eisenberg before they were
That's
famous.
another.
but
I like that. That's
it
a
was
fun
good,
movie. Yeah.
but I remember like finding out his name was Army Hammer, and I'm like, well, that's weird because that sounds kind of like Arm and Hammer. And Michelle was like, Well, that's why, because his family owns Arm & Hammer. I'm like,
he's one of the
so
owners,
they fucking named him a product. He's the sponsor of the product. That's like if you own Coca-Cola and you name your child like Cherry Coke or something like that. I was like, fuck
Coke,
that guy forever.
Coke with lemon.
I'm diet
Would that
cherry.
be a
I'm
Coke-
diet lemon Coke.
Would that be a Coke Radler?
Coke Radler. There you
That
go.
would be a Coke Rattler.
Well, if your name's Coke Radler, I'd make the exception of the rule. But
That's a cool name, yeah.
Army Hammer, fuck him forever. So that's what I did. I watched and then on top of that, all the shows were ending that Jason and I, for the most part, watched together. Yellow Jackets ended its second season to less than stellar. Kind of,
it didn't land where we wanted it.
It kind of crashed and burned on the landing. Succession ended its
Fourth
the series
season final.
done. I thought that ended very well.
I liked it, but I wasn't happy.
Well, I didn't.
Yeah,
I would have wanted one more season. I thought they could have maybe dragged it out.
I think so too.
Okay, they didn't. I'm fine.
You know what I was saying to Dana? Hi, Dana. I think they could make a movie down the line.
That would be interesting. Yeah, they could do that. Ted Lasso ended its series also, and then
just to be on the record, Ted Lasso is not one of the shows that I did watch.
No.
I just want to be on the record.
But that ended very well.
That's okay.
That ended as well as it could have after 4 seasons.
Was it 4?
He was just
three.
Jason Sudeikis was just on Dana Carvey and David Spade's podcast.
Oh, was he? Okay.
It was a good 2-hour interview, and the last hour is a good 45 minutes of that last hour is Ted Lasso.
Okay,
so you might want to check that one out.
I mean, I love Ted Lasso. It is set up. It is set up for a spinoff, at least, if not just a straight up.
Like one of the other characters.
4. I mean, they might do a season 4. I think it all depends on him.
He said something along the lines of like they were going after like how British television does it, where they'll do 2 seasons and then they'll do Christmas specials,
or end on a high note, like
a movie as a single episode.
Don't Walking Dead it and just drag it out for 15 years.
There's a new one starting.
Oh,
a new Walking Dead. They're in New York.
Do people care? Do people? Really?
I guess they do if they're making new ones. They're in New York City now. I don't understand.
Was New York big in the first series?
It was never. They never got that far.
They were down south.
Oh, they went from like Georgia to DC, I think, or something like that.
Virginia, right? They made it to Virginia, I think.
Yeah.
Vagina. That's right.
I watched an old movie this week, from 1970,
the year of our birth.
Yes. It has to be good.
Kelly's Heroes.
Oh,
and let me just ramble off.
We've talked about that a couple times with the cast and stuff.
I'm going to ramble off this cast. This cast is insane. Clint Eastwood, Telly Savalas, Don Rickles, Carol O'Connor, Donald Sutherland, my boy Gavin McLeod, Stuart Margolin, Harry Dean Stanton, Dick Balduzzi, Len Lesser, who's also known as
Uncle Leo.
Uncle Leo,
hello.
But and also what was his name? George Savalas. That's Telly's brother. But yeah, what a cast! Great movie. I really enjoyed it. It was on TCM. They don't have any commercials on TCM. The whole movie played.
Wow.
And then the commercials came at the end.
So they do run commercials, it's just not
in between shows.
Was it like at a set time and you watched it or was it a stream?
I recorded it at my parents and then I went over there and I watched it. Yeah.
I was actually listening to
I recommend it.
Interview with Bill Hader today, and he was talking about how he was on a plane from LA to New York with Don Rickles on the plane with him, and he was like, it was like a 6-hour Don Rickles set, like the entire time. He's like, and he was like 85 years old, and he was just like, he was just like, he never stopped. He's like, eventually we were just like, Don, you got to take a break, man. People were just like coming and going because like he's just nonstop, and some people were just getting tired of it after a while. Even the best things after a while get tiring. So
even like, you see a comedian, they don't like to stay out there for more than like an hour,
yeah,
hour 15, right? Because if they stay out a little longer, people get bored with them. You give them just enough where they want more, but you don't give it to them. And then
an hour is like this perfect sweet spot for a stand-up comedy.
Then you think for music, you think
like 2.5 hours.
2 hours plus. Yeah. Depending on the band. I mean, like some band like Ween, I saw they play over 3 hours. Whatchamacallit, Springsteen, I'm not a fan, but he plays over 3.5 hours.
Taylor Swift was like 3.5 hours.
3.5 hour shows. Yeah, these people are giving you your money's worth
Sure.
at least, so
The Ramones played for 3.5 hours. They did 197 songs.
That's insane.
I'm kidding.
they didn't play that long.
They don't play that
They would
long.
play for 30 minutes and need to get 42 songs in.
I didn't mention Barry as the season ender.
Barry?
That also series ended, and I feel it ended poorly, but that's just my opinion. So
A little rushed, it felt.
It did a time jump in the middle of the season, and then it seemed like they did the time jump just to explain how they were going to get to the ending, and I was like,
I forgot to ask Brady how he thought of that.
yeah, Logan and I watched it together. Well, Michelle, Logan and I watched it together, and as soon as it ended, Logan looked at me. I'm like, Logan's like, I feel also. So
It hurts because it's set up for such a great ending, and then it fizzled out. Like
it was only like, I hate when these guys, like I respect when they say, I'm ending the show after the season. That's great. Go out on your terms, but then make it good too. Don't just say like, I'm going out on my own terms and I don't give a fuck either. So it's just like, here, the show's over. Bye. Mm-hmm. So I felt that's how the show kind of ended, because the first 3 seasons were amazing. And the first half of the season was really good too. As soon as they did the time jump, I was like,
yep.
And I don't know.
Like I said, it was rushed. It
felt
way
rushed,
too rushed,
What was that show with the guy who did Apu? What's his name?
Apu is Hank Azaria?
Hank Azaria. He did a show where he was a drunk baseball.
Yes, he was, and he like got kicked out. He was
Brockmeyer.
Yes, and he went down to like the minors as an announcer.
That was a good show.
Then that final season, they did the giant time jump way into the future. That was one of, because
I don't think I saw the last season.
Oh my God, they jump like 20 years into the future. Everyone's all old.
Like for the last episode, or like the whole last season?
In the future, because it took place
the last
present
episode
day.
or the last season?
No, the whole season.
Yeah, no way would I have like that. Like Parks and Rec, the last season is all
a
year or years in the future, because one of them's a senator. You never really find out which one's a senator. And I remember just being like,
Brockmeyer did a great job.
But I didn't watch the last season. He was good in that.
I remember watching the first couple episodes.
You got to watch that last season.
I
think I want to. Yeah.
What was that on? Do you ever remember?
I think
IFC or
oh, was it one of those?
I was going to say it was that or Spike. Maybe when Spike was around or something like that. I don't know.
TV for Men. Thank God we finally got something. We
needed it. Wait, Brian hasn't said anything you watched.
Yeah, I have 3 shows. So one's Korean. Called
Get that out of the way.
Her Private Life.
All right, and the next one is
yada yada.
This is an interesting.
No, it's not.
Premise, though.
No, it's not.
It's not going to get anybody to watch
Ghost witches, Korean teenage girls,
12-year-old girl turned into a monster.
The main character she's a curator at a art museum, and she has to hide her private life of being a fangirl for a K-pop star.
Oh, okay. So she's a K-pop fangirl.
Yeah, she has a web page and everything, but she doesn't want anyone
it sounds really
work
adult.
to know.
Does she have superpowers or something like that?
No, there's no superpowers.
It was good.
Does
I actually Christine watch it with you?
Christine came in. I was watching episode 5, and she sat down, and we were supposed to watch another Dr. Cha. And when my show ended, she was just like, well, let's watch another episode of this. And then she went back to the beginning.
Now, you watched that whole season this week?
Yeah. Yeah. I tried.
Damn, dude. Really?
Anyway.
Tell us some shows that we may have heard of.
So here, I forgot.
Logan said something the other day. We were making fun of your Korean dramas, and Logan goes, and Christine's all into him now too. I'm like, I know. He dragged her down with him into this nonsense.
Yeah, why would you do that? It's not nice, man. That's not sweet to do.
She used to talk to us. She used to talk to us about shows at lunch. Now she doesn't even come to lunch anymore. Because if she came to lunch, she'd be like, "So did anybody watch Go Go Juju Baba?" And we'll be like, "The fuck are you talking about?" So she doesn't even come to lunch anymore. Because the answer would be absolutely not, and we'd be like, "Did you watch Barry or Succession or Ted Lasso or Yellow Jacket?"
I want to watch that. I think she watched Yellow Jacket.
I'll get to that. She was watching.
She started it.
Yeah, she started it, and then K-pop got in the way.
It did. That's all she watches.
Please, a show that we know.
You'll get addicted if you start watching them.
I can't imagine that ever happening.
I guarantee you that would 100% not happen.
Well, let me do my next show.
Okay.
I watched, it just came out. on Netflix.
I think you should leave.
I think you should leave. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
We watched all
I
6
gotta watch.
episodes.
I'm going to watch the whole season. The whole
Very
first
funny.
And second
I don't think
season.
it was as good as season 1 or 2.
Is the new season drop though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it's very funny. But it's still, all the quotes are from. There's a couple quotes from this season, but most of them are from the previous seasons that you can launch. And then the other one that I watched, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Oh, is that out?
I didn't know that was
Where's
out.
that?
It's not out. I had to buy it.
You bought it?
Yeah. And
Is it
then
in the theater? Or
I
is
forced
it?
my mom to watch it. I
That's
told
funny
her
because
it was
I forced
Winnie the
I forced
Pooh.
my mom to watch Cocaine Bear.
Full report. Full report.
It is awful, but it's awful. Not that I watched the whole thing.
What would you give it?
Maybe 50.
Like, would you ever watch it again? Like, is it
No,
a one and done
So,
kind
like,
of thing?
if we and Andy
but I'd
were
watch the sequel.
me and Andy were going to watch it here.
Oh
You
yeah,
would you watch with us?
It's definitely a watch with other
Group
people.
setting, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, you said you watched the sequel?
I said
he
no.
would-
I
he
would
would
watch
watch
the
it. Oh, okay.
sequel.
What did your mom think of it?
My mom got up about 75% of the way
Wow,
through.
she made it that far.
Wow,
through.
that's
Did make
far.
it, and
Yeah.
she was just like she was. I was hoping that when you said it was Winnie the Pooh, it wasn't animated, and it wasn't animated.
But was it like so?
How long is it?
Is it a person in a Winnie the Pooh
Hour and a
costume,
half, little out,
or is it a bear?
Like
is
an
it?
animatronic?
It is a person with a Winnie the Pooh mask on.
So it's not like it's not supposed to be a.
piglet mask.
You know, it'd be great if he was actually Winnie Poohing and he just had a shirt on
Oh
and no
my God.
pants, no underwear.
See, that would have been
That would be
awesome.
fun.
But so it's not supposed to be like a bear doing this. It's supposed to be a person.
The whole
in a mask.
they give you the premise of the movie in the first 2 minutes,
You
and
bought this or
it's
you
in
rented it?
cartoons. I don't know. It was $10. I bought it.
I understand.
Yes, Papa, bad kitty.
Do you know the premise of it? I mean, they tell you
I
the
think I have an
premise.
idea, yeah.
No, I don't think I know the actual.
It's
I know.
just
I'll
that-
pull it up.
I just know that it's in the public domain now, so you can do it as long as it doesn't look like a Disney Winnie the Pooh. You can
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. After Christopher Robin abandons them for college, Pooh and Piglet embark on a bloody rampage as they search for a new source of food.
So it is supposed to be like a bear and a pig. It's not supposed to be guys in costumes.
Oh no! It's definitely Winnie the Pooh.
So it's supposed to
and
be a
Piglet.
bear,
Yeah.
but it's a guy. It's not. It is CGI
Well,
bear.
it says this.
It's not a bear.
It says the days of merriment have come to an end as Christopher Robin, now a young man, has left Winnie the Pooh and Piglet to fend for themselves. As time passes, feeling angry and abandoned, the two become feral. After getting a taste for blood, Winnie the Pooh and Piglet set off to find a new source of food. It's not long before their bloody rampage begins. You know where that bloody rampage begins?
100 Acre
On Spreaker and everywhere else you can get our podcast.
I
Did you have
still
more to say?
don't feel I know the concept of this movie. I'm still confused.
I thought we would end it,
I'm
right?
still confused. That's fine. I'm still confused as to I have to watch it now.
I was going to
don't
watch it
want it.
regardless. I know it sounds shitty, but it's one of those ones I still want to
Oh,
watch.
it's
yeah.
definitely worth a watch.
Nice.
But find us on Spreaker, everywhere else you can download us, rate, subscribe, and review, do all those fun things. Interact with us on our socials. Exciting a new podcast everywhere, and it's The Jazoo on Instagram, Jazoo74 on Twitter. I've been Jason, and this has been the exciting and new mini podcast.
AE Gonzo 1 on Twitter, AE Gonzo 1970 on Instagram. I'm Andy. Good God. Is that a
That's a
rattler?
rattler.
Is that a rattler? A rattler
Yeah.
or
That's
something?
definitely
said
the
rattler.
rattler.
He's all ratchety.
I'm Brian, Papa
my-
Bad Kitty.
Did you get some on you?